Hey guys, and welcome on in to Getting Wild and Flying High, free NHL and MLB picks. I am Terry, ready to break down today's slate. And oh boy, did I have a nice present for me this morning. I went to bed early last night. Minnesota was losing 2-1 to Chicago, and I was pissed off. The first two periods were absolutely awful to watch. I was in a bad mood. I went to bed early. I woke up and saw that not only did my best bet win with the Wild coming back and winning the game, not only did they cash my puck line, but Gustav Nyquist cashed a plus 375 goal scoring prop for me with an empty net. And that was just like three reasons for me to be, and of being a Wild fan, of course, them winning is four reasons. It was just an excellent way to wake up this morning. So started my day off well, and looking to keep it going here. Um, just thought I'd start off with that, but we'll jump into what happened yesterday in the NHL. The San Jose Sharks could not continue their dominance over the Winnipeg Jets. The Jets getting a 6-2 home victory. The Sabres, I cashed on Casey Middlestat to get a point. That was a great play. And Sabres got the job done, keeping their slim playoff hopes alive. Fighting right to the very end is the Sabres. Ottawa beat Carolina in regulation. That was unexpected, I think. But the Hurricanes limping into the playoffs, and I think whoever faces them in the first round will have a good chance of moving on. I'm not high in this Hurricanes team. As I've said in previous shows, there was a lot of things they could have done at the trade deadline to improve their team, but they chose to stand pat, and I think that's going to be a huge mistake for the Hurricanes. Nick, close your ears, close your eyes, but the Capitals with a 5-2 victory at home against the Islanders. That must hurt all Islanders fans. That is a rough loss. Without Ovechkin, um, this Capitals team that has just been losing pretty much every game, and the Islanders, in a must-win spot, didn't win, and that was really hurts their playoff chances. Florida and Toronto, another team that needed to win, but they got a point. So that's good enough for them. For the Panthers, they just need one more point to clinch a playoff spot. The Leafs got the 2-1 win in overtime there. Close game. I'm glad that Florida was too pricey for me to make it a premium play. So I did have it at a money line and a couple parlays, but overall, that game didn't really hurt too much. So that was good. Dallas Stars and Detroit Red Wings. Dallas took it to Detroit. In this one, Joe Pavelski anytime goal cashed, which was awesome for me and for Richie. We'll get to that later. Wild and Blackhawks, as I said, just horrible 2 periods of hockey, but what a great way to finish the game. That's my boys. That's my boys. Nashville and Calgary. I did have the under 6 in that game. For those that had to take the under 5.5, it's still cashed. And the Predators keep their hopes alive. I was leaning with Predators money line at that big plus price. Should have pulled the trigger, but it's all good. I had the under, and a big win for Nashville, and a big loss for the Flames. Kraken and Coyotes. That was my exclusive picks and parlays play of the day. I did have the Kraken on the puck line, which cash. They've dominated this Coyotes team, and I'm just not a good. The Coyotes are kind of giving up here at this point. The Kraken looking to the playoffs. And Vancouver, LA. I was on Vancouver as a dog, but the Kings break their losing streak, shut out the Canucks, and the Canucks magic against the LA Kings looks like it has ended the last couple games. But we'll take a look at the standings, and then we'll get into the slate. Wow. Carolina, New Jersey, and the New York Rangers separated by 2 points now for the division title. it would be really hard for the Rangers to win. Actually, 50 wins. I think even if they do win their final game, I still think Carolina would have the tiebreaker. So Rangers came close to winning the Metropolitan here at the end of the season, but will fall just short. New Jersey, Carolina, one is going to win. One is going to get the Rangers in the first round. The Atlantic, exactly, pretty much the same. Nothing's changing there. Wildcard spot, Florida with 92 points, Islanders with 91, Pittsburgh with 90. Pittsburgh has a game against Chicago tonight, and then one other team that is a bottom feeder. So Pittsburgh, if they win both games, they will be back in the playoffs for a 17th consecutive year, I believe. But a long time it's been. Buffalo Sabres hanging around, 3 games left. If they win out, they're at 93 points. They have a small chance, but would need Florida to lose, or they would need They would need some help here. The rest of the teams, bottom feeders of the Eastern Conference, all eliminated from playoff contention. In the West, Colorado with 104, Dallas with 104, Minnesota with 102. First, second, and third is still up for grabs here in the Central between all 3 teams. In the Pacific, Vegas with 107, Edmonton with 105, LA with 102. Wildcard teams, Seattle with 100, Winnipeg with 93, Calgary with 91, Nashville with 90. So Nashville would have to win their next 2 games, and the Nashville fans are definitely hoping that Minnesota helps them out, and beats Winnipeg today in regulation, which we'll get to that game shortly. St. Louis, Vancouver, Arizona, and the rest of the bottom feeders of the Western Conference. That win that Chicago looked like they were going to get would have hurt their Bedard chances, but Blackhawks fans should be happy that the Wild beat them in this spot. But before we get to the slate, we will jump into what's up, Terry. I smashed like. Of course you did, Richie. You always do. Stars, Terry. Yes. Stars won. Great job. I don't want to talk about last night. Yeah, I'm sorry, Nick. That must hurt. I'm sorry. Hey, Terry. Hey, Crystal. Red Wings got took out behind the woodshed last night. Yeah, sometimes it's going to happen for sure. Teeth the Great. It was a wild night. I was pissed the Blackhawks were winning. Tank, please. And then miraculously hit my parlay of wild puck line, the over 5.5. Yeah, it was a great way to wake up in the morning. I tell you that. I did wake up in the middle of the night and went to the washroom, and I thought about looking at my phone, but I'm so glad I didn't, because there's no way I would have fallen back asleep after looking at that. So I'm glad. Yes, Terry. Boldy, heart emoji. Yes. And you made Boldy your best bet to score yesterday. And of course, he scored pretty quickly into the game. So I give you credit, Clear and I give you credit for Boldy's goal. So thank you. Pavelski, 1,000 career points celebration last night. Yes, great job for him for sure. Happy Tuesday to you as well, Kev. Let's all make some money. And big slate in the NHL today, but there's only 3 games that I'm targeting here. This is the first one. Washington Capitals and the Boston Bruins. Washington plus 225 to plus 283. Boston minus 300 to minus 350. Sixes, couple 6.5s available here in this one. And I'm taking Boston on the puck line. Of course, the line has moved here now that it's around minus 130, right at my cutoff line. And taking minus 130 with the puck line at this point in the year doesn't really excite me. Of course, now that the line has moved, I would say tread with a little bit of caution. I believe I got it for minus 115 or minus 110 before, but this price, it's kind of a iffy play here for me. But Boston continues to roll. Washington, they did have that big win last night after losing so many in a row. I kind of feel like that was their their win, like to finish off the season. And I think that they probably get smashed here. So Boston probably wins something like 4-1 type of game. And I like Boston on the puck line. In this one, probably won't get a very good price for this, but Pasternak anytime goal. Oh, plus money, plus 105 in some spots here. It's kind of hard to go wrong with that. Um, I think he's at 60 goals now. I don't think he's going to just stop um, shooting just because he hit 60. As long as he's not resting. Of course, with player props, you're going to have to worry about players resting. That's why I'm kind of going light in the NHL. But Boston's rested players, and they've still won, and still won by multiple goals. So I like the Bruins here in this one. Zaka anytime goal and assist. All right. Thank you, Richie. But moving on to this game here, Winnipeg Jets, Minnesota Wild, Winnipeg minus 110 to plus 105. Minnesota Wild minus 111 to minus 125. 5.5s right across the board here in this game. Both teams trending towards the under right now. Winnipeg, 10 of their last 12 have gone under 5.5. Minnesota, 6 of their last 8 have gone under 6.5. The Wild 7-1 in the last 8 games at home against Winnipeg. They've beat Winnipeg all 3 times this year, all 3 by multiple goals. And now they're looking for the sweep here in this game. And I am on Minnesota on the money line. I'm going to sprinkle on the puck line as well. Um, I get it. Kaprizov said that it was a hockey play and that Logan Stanley wasn't to blame. If anything, Kaprizov was to blame for the position he was in. But Wild fans, and I'm sure other players, feel differently about that. I think some players, Ryan Reeves, for instance, has this game circled on his calendar. I think the Wild come out here, beat up the Winnipeg Jets, win by multiple goals, continuing on. This has been a bad opponent for Winnipeg to have to face, and I think they continue here. Gustav Nyquist. If anybody here watched my video that I did on the Minnesota Wild specifically, short 9-minute video a few days ago, I did mention that the Wild would be fine despite their losing streak that they were on there. And one of the big reasons why is Gustav Nyquist and Brock Faber. I had Addis Rossi there as well. Rossi did not have a good game last night, but I still believe in him. But Brock Faber looked absolutely amazing in his debut. Um, and Nyquist has 3 points in 2 games. Gustav Nyquist, anytime goal tonight is plus 500. Sign me up. Sign me up. Plus 500 at FanDuel for Nyquist to score. He is going to be a big part of this playoff run for the Wild. And he was the addition I was most excited about during the trade deadline. Despite the fact that he had been injured for months and months, he has come out and looked like the player he was in the past. So plus 500 for him to score. Absolutely love that. And I love the Wild on the money line. And I'll be sprinkling the puck line as well. I think they take care of business here in this one. Wild by 2. Richie agrees. Maybe 3. Yeah. I know Winnipeg does have to win. But as we saw yesterday with the Islanders and Florida, just because you have to win doesn't mean you will. And I just don't like this spot for the Jets. Also, most of the Wild's big guns were rested yesterday in Chicago. And I have to check officially, but according to Dean Evison, they will all be in the lineup today. So we'll actually have to see what the final lineup does look like. But this is a spot for the Wild, I think, in this one. Moving on along to our third game. And that's it for the NHL. I'll briefly go over the rest of the games and my thoughts and leans. But for official plays, that's it for hockey today. Edmonton and Colorado. Edmonton minus 115 and minus 125. Colorado minus 105 to plus 106. 6.5s. I do see a 7 here in this one. Both teams rolling right now. Edmonton 12-0-1 in their last 13 games. 9 of their last 12 wins have been by multiple goals. They have been smashing their opponents. Colorado 14-2 in their last 16, and they've righted the ship against some playoff teams here recently after only really beating bottom feeders. Now they've kind of righted the ship and are, I think, back-to-back wins against two of their last two times they faced a playoff team. They've won both. Now they're facing Edmonton here in this one, and Colorado 9-1 in the last 10 meetings between Colorado and Edmonton, going back to last year in the playoffs as well. Uh, I'm looking at Colorado at plus money, but I can't pick a side here. Yes, Colorado's dominated Edmonton, but Edmonton is absolutely rolling right now. The only thing I can do with this game is take the draw, plus 343 to plus 350. The last three meetings between the teams have gone to overtime. This game just screams overtime. Both teams need points, and I think this is a great draw spot at a nice plus price in this one. Stupid Avalanche wins. Yes, I feel that way. But I hope Dallas wins the division because I want to face Colorado in the first round. People may think I'm crazy, but give me the Avalanche in the first round. Wild will take them out. Stars will be the one of the three to lose. No, Richie, hey, you said Stars were going to lose yesterday, and what happened there? So we won't, we won't. You were wrong. You were wrong, Richie. But look at the slate quickly before we go to baseball and then get to the best bet segment. Buffalo and New Jersey. I'm tempted on Buffalo. I am tempted on Buffalo. They need to win out, and it's plus 203. But the Devils have started to roll recently. 4 of their last 5 wins on the puck line. They played well against Buffalo. I just can't get involved in this one. I will most likely be going back to Middlestat to get a point. If it is plus, I'm assuming it's going to be plus money once again. And I will be betting that after the show. Columbus and Philadelphia. Um, Columbus and Philadelphia. It's one of the final games of the season. I don't want to sound like a prick, but you should not be betting Columbus and Philadelphia. And if you are, you may want to call 1-800-GAMBLER because there is no reason for you to bet this game. I'll leave it at that. Toronto and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay big favorites here at home against Toronto. These two teams are going to face in Toronto for game 1 of the playoffs in a few days. Toronto didn't rest guys yesterday against Florida like I thought they would. And I'm really hoping for at least fans or at least the team in general that they don't go and rest everybody here tonight. Not against the team you're going to be facing in a few days. You don't want to give Tampa Bay a dominant 6-1 win, even in a meaningless game. You don't want to get their confidence up heading into the playoffs. So this game is important for both teams. I'll be watching, but I won't be watching because the Blue Jays will be on home opener, and then the Wild will be on. So I won't be actually watching the game, but I'll be looking at the score and everything and see what happens in the final when it's over. But that'll be an important game. That one. Detroit and Carolina. No thanks. I'm not betting Carolina right now. Not taking Detroit on the second night of a back-to-back, even after getting smashed. I just think that's a pass game. Washington, Boston, we went over. Chicago, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh minus 477 favorites. The puck line is minus 188. And I'm passing. I don't think that should be much of a surprise to anybody. Pittsburgh, if they don't win this game, that would completely shock me. If Pittsburgh loses this game, I don't see it happening, but the game still has to be played. And if Pittsburgh comes in with this attitude of we've already won this game, something crazy could happen. But if they come out to play, they should absolutely smash Chicago. Winnipeg, Minnesota, we went over. Edmonton, Colorado, we went over. Vancouver, Anaheim. I took my shot with Vancouver as a dog yesterday. Now they're a road favorite, and I get why it's Anaheim, but I have no play in this game. And then Seattle and Vegas. Oh, you're giving me Seattle as a dog on the road. place they played well pretty much all season long. Issue though, Vegas 5-1 in the 6 meetings between the teams. Um, Seattle on the second night of a back-to-back. I just can't justify betting them in this spot. It's a horrible spot for them. A good spot for Vegas. Mark Stone back in practice for Vegas. He of course won't play tonight, but it's interesting that he's on LTIR and now playoffs are here, and he is going to be ready to go soon. So um, they're pulling a Tampa Bay Lightning, I guess, the Vegas Golden Knights, but I can't make a play in this game. Nothing for me. Go to the comments here. Good time to be wrong. Yes, definitely. Leafs Lightning draw. Interesting. And then Sabres shootout win. Or shootout win. Or shutout win. I don't know. I don't think it's a shutout win. I think you're making shootout win, but hey, it could definitely happen. We will go to the MLB, and we will take a look at what's going on in the MLB, starting with this game. Miami Marlins, Philadelphia Phillies. Miami plus 125 to plus 134. Philadelphia minus 143 to minus 160. 7.5s and 8s in this one. I leaned with Philadelphia yesterday. A lot of their players have hit Sandy Alcantara really well, but I didn't want to fade Sandy Alcantara back-to-back games. And of course, Philly lit him up and then lit up everybody they faced after that pretty much. So a great game for Philadelphia. But Luzardo has been really good to start the season. And Aaron Nola hasn't. And yes, I do expect Nola to turn things around. And Luzardo, when he's good, he's good. When he's bad, he's bad. And I'm hoping he's going to be good in this one because I'm taking Miami on the money line here. I think they bounce back after a really rough game yesterday. And I like them to bounce back in this spot. Pittsburgh first period puck line. So in the NHL. Let's see what that is, because that's actually a very good possible way to look at things here. These first period. Yeah, you can get it minus 110, minus 115 at some spots, minus 120 to minus 130 at others. So if you have access to Betano or PointsBet has minus 115. I think that's a good look at that price at minus 110 or minus 115. Sorry, a shootout. Yes, probably. Miami's first 5 and over 7.5. Yeah, I like them full game, but I like them first 5 as well. 1,000 unit whale play lock the Century Penguins money line minus 450. They aren't losing. I know you definitely want them to for your Islanders, but it would definitely shock me if they lost that game. When it comes to player props for Miami, Luis Arias is hitting 500 this year, and I don't have anybody written down for Philadelphia. Looking at the next game, Boston Red Sox, Tampa Bay Rays, Boston plus 150 to plus 160. Tampa Bay minus 174 to minus 184. 7s and 7.5s in this one. It was kind of upsetting that they didn't cover the run line for me, the Tampa Bay Rays yesterday. They did get the win, which is great for my best bet, but unfortunately did not cash the run line. Now they're coming here on the mound with their best pitcher by far in McClanahan. And 2 Boston Red Sox in Devers and Verdugo have hit McClanahan really well. So he has to focus on those 2 guys, but if he can kind of hold those 2 guys off, I think Tampa Bay smashes here. They're just playing really good baseball to start the season. And I'm getting their run line at plus 130 with McClanahan on the mound. And that's just something I have to do. That's just a play for me. So I like Tampa Bay Rays on the line. Back on the wagon, Rays first 5 and full -1. Yep, I see it. I completely agree. Moving on to our next game here, the Blue Jays home opener. We have Detroit plus 220 to plus 246. Toronto minus 267 to minus 300. Nines, 8.5s available in this one. If you watched, I was on Picks and Parlays yesterday, bet, win, repeat. Make sure to subscribe to the Picks and Parlays channel. And I was on there yesterday with Sean Higgs and Detroit Lenny. And Higgs said, you want to bet these big favorites now because the lines are going to move. Uh, Toronto Blue Jays on the run line was minus 110. Now it's minus 135. So, of course, we've seen a big movement here. And I'm going to be accused of being a homer in this spot because of what I'm about to say. But Detroit. Matt Manning is a pitcher that I do really like on Detroit's staff. He is a pitcher that I'm going to be looking to back. Um, if any pitcher, I'm going to be looking to back on Detroit staff. The issue here, it's not because he's facing the team I cheer for, but it's you're getting Toronto in their home opener. If you've taken a look at the Toronto bats, they have Chapman hitting 435, or sorry, 475. Guerrero's hitting 439. Kevin Kiermaier's hitting 400. I know it's not just been a couple at bats. He's pretty much playing every game. Bo Bichette and Dalton Varsho are over 300 averages. This is just not a good spot at all for Matt Manning. Toronto, coming off the big win, the big comeback win against the Angels, had they had to play their home opener yesterday and not had the day off, uh, I would have said it's not a good spot for Toronto. Coming off that big win, having the day off, coming home, everyone's excited for this game. I do think Toronto smashes here. Looking at minus 135, that's right at my cutoff line. If you like the minus 2.5 at plus money, wouldn't talk you off that. Matt Chapman to get a hit. Any of those other players, Guerrero, Kiermaier, Bichette, Varsho, any of those guys to get a hit is a good play. I will be backing Matt Manning throughout the year, but not in this spot here. Almost minus 300 on Bet Online. 3 games getting close to the system play. Oh, are you doing that again this year, Nick? Where you fade minus 300s? Oh boy. Oh boy. Now I do remember you did that last year, but then you stopped. You stopped because it didn't cash any longer. So we'll see what happens. I wouldn't do it in that game if I were you. White Sox and Minnesota Twins. White Sox plus 125 to plus 135. Minnesota minus 146 to minus 158. 8s and 7.5s available in this one. The entire world was on the White Sox yesterday, and the entire world cashed. But it was close. Closer than it should have been with no Buxton and no Correa. Buxton did come in for one at bat, but without the 2 big guns for the Twins, the White Sox got a 4-3 win. So they barely beat the Twins here. Now they're facing them again, except we've got Lopez on the mound for Minnesota, who's looked absolutely stellar, pretty much close to perfect in his first 2 starts with the Twins. Lance Lynn, 0-1 with a 9.0 ERA. Lance Lynn, a pitcher I look to fade for the most part. Byron Buxton, Trevor Larnach, Ryan Jeffers, if he's in the lineup, not only is he hitting 364 this year, he's 3 for 5 against Lynn. And then Jose Miranda, he's also 3 for 5 against Lance Lynn. So depending on lineups, those are the players I look at: Buxton, Larnach, Jeffers, and Miranda. I like the Twins on the money line. Of course, it's past. It's now past my cutoff line. So Twins money line is a parlay piece. If you don't want to parlay, you still want to back the Twins, take them in the first 5 on the run line. Plus 100, plus 105. You're getting a great price. I think they're leading after 5. That's where I'd go if I'd have to single bet it now. But for parlay pieces, I think the Twins money line is a great parlay piece in this one. Dun, 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 dun. Crystal's best bet. It's going to be Varsho and Kiermaier. both to get hits. Both lefties facing a righty, which usually is good. And the Jays haven't had lefties really for a long time, so it's nice that they have some good lefties now. Right, plus 131. Nick likes the over 8 in this game, and Painter Life likes Minnesota money line and team total over 4.5 in the same game parlay. I like that. Not a fan of Lance Lynn, um, really at all. Moving on to the final game, then we'll go through the quickly through the rest of the slate. St. Louis Cardinals, Colorado Rockies, St. Louis minus 166 to minus 182. Colorado plus 145 to plus 155. 12s, 11 and a halfs with the total here. And this might be one of the plays where I'm kind of on an island on my own. But I like Colorado here. Freeland, 2-0, hasn't given up an earned run. That was, of course, on the road. Now he's at home, which is going to be much more difficult. Facing Mikolas, um, you're giving me Colorado plus 1.5 at plus money at home here. Um, I've liked what I've seen a lot more from Freeland than Mikolas, and I think this is a good spot for Colorado. I think they're too big of an underdog in this one. So give me the plus 1.5 at plus money here. They don't have to win, just got to keep it a one-run game. And that's where I'm going with this one, plus money. Rockies first five, plus 140. You're not alone. ... Go Rocks. Yeah. Well, I'm surprised because I didn't really think really many people would want to take the Rockies here, but I'm taking them plus 1.5. We will look at the rest of the slate here. Let me get that go. Yankees and Guardians. Gleyber Torres to get a hit in a parlay. Other than that, I'm passing. Cole's looked great to start the year. A lot of players have hits against Cole, but averages aren't really there. So he can get hit by the Guardians, but overall he can shut them down as well. So I'm not going to get involved with this game except for Torres to get a hit. Athletics and Orioles. My most disliked player in the MLB, Adley Rushman, got a home run yesterday, and taking him to get a hit in a parlay is the only involvement I'll have in this one. But you can't bet with your heart; you have to bet with your brain. And Rutschman is hitting the ball, so I will bet on him. Astros and Pirates. I don't have anything in this game. I'm staying off here. Um, Pirates might be coming down to earth. Houston might be turning the corner, and I'm just going to stay off. We went over Miami, Philly. We went over Boston, Tampa. We went over Detroit, Toronto, San Diego Padres, and New York Mets. I'm completely staying off this game as well. Just not really liking it. If I was forced to make a play, maybe Padres at plus money, but I'm just not getting to anything in this one. Pitching matchup, yeah, Weathers against Peterson. I'm not really interested in that one. Reds and Braves, again, a game I'm not really getting to. We've got Sess on the mound for the Reds, Kyle Wright for the Braves. Wright can definitely get lit up, but he can also pitch very well. I don't know what I'm going to get from him. I'm not going to try to guess. He's a pitcher I want to see a few games with before I can really do anything involving him. White Sox and Twins, we talked about. Mariners and Cubs. This is a tough one. Flexen against Wesneski. The Cubs are a team I want to back, but I think the pitching matchup is with Seattle, and Seattle, a team that I'm not quite sure what they really are yet. I both of these teams, I'm just torn on. So again, it's going to be a game that I'm passing on. No official play. Royals and Texas Rangers. Corey Seager to get a hit. He's hitting well right now. Hits well against Lyles. Texas is a money line parlay piece, but that's basically it. I'm not taking them on the run line at minus 125 at the best price, and just basically staying off the rest of that. Cardinals Rockies, we went over. Nationals Angels, got my over 9.5 in that one yesterday. Of course, now we have different pitchers on the mound. Sonny Gray against Otani. I would lean with the under. Otani, we've seen what he's done so far this year. And Ozzie Gray, not Sonny Gray, Ozzie Gray on the road pitches much better than at home for whatever reason. So I think I was on the over yesterday. I lean with the under today. Not going to pull the trigger just because I don't know what's going to happen in the bullpens. Maybe the first 5 under here, but it's probably a pass. Brewers and Diamondbacks. Burns against Kelly. This is two good teams right now in Brewers and Diamondbacks, and I'm tempted to take the Diamondbacks here at plus money. Burns didn't look good in his first 2 starts. I do think he'll bounce back, but I think this game is priced the way it is because of him, and I don't think Arizona should be an underdog in this spot. So it's lean with Arizona, but no official play. And then Dodgers in San Francisco. My exclusive picks and parlays premium play of the day is in this game. You can get my 7-pack up on the site, which includes the picks I've already given out, some of the picks I've already given out, and my exclusive play in this game. But I will say Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Jason Hayward, and JD Martinez all hit Wood pretty well. And then James Outman is smashing the ball right now. So lots of player props on the Dodgers. That should be able to hit. Wood in this one. I'm also locked in on Dodgers money line team total over 3.5. Mookie and Freeman both to get a hit. Same game parlay. Yes, I can see why you're on both of those guys. Mookie Betts 9 for 18, hitting 500 against Wood. He's hitting 293 this year, and Freeman is hitting 419 this year, 286 average against Wood. So I can totally see why you're on it. Wow, Nick. Wow. So I basically said call win at 100 gambler if you're betting this game. And of course, Nick is going to make that his best bet. That is why I tell Nick to call 1-800-GAMBLER a lot. So it doesn't really surprise me. Philadelphia -1. Nick. What are we going to do with you? Right. But that is the slate. We will jump into the best bet segment here, and we'll take a look at what happened yesterday for best bets. And for me, Tampa Bay Rays, Minnesota Wild money line. Went to bed thinking I was going to lose, but did not wake up that way. Tim went with the White Sox run line. Unfortunately, they only won by 1. Nick went with the Angels team total over 5.5. Unfortunately, they didn't do enough of the scoring. Crystal went with Urias over 5.5 strikeouts in the Dodgers money line, which cashed. Richie went with Pavelski anytime goal, Heiskanen assist, one of his favorite bets, plus 457. And it didn't happen on the same goal, which it has recently. But Heiskanen got assist and Pavelski scored a winner. Clear Niam had a feeling about Matt Boldy, and it was a good feeling. He cashed. Terry LaJoie went with a Rosarena and Franco. Unfortunately, Franco didn't show up. Kev Cook went with the Brewers money line. I was on as well. Unfortunately, they lost. And then Captain Brian went Tampa Bay money line and the Angels on the run line. Fortunately, Angels lost. Looking at the standings for the best bets for April, Richie and Crystal in a really close battle here for first place. Clear Niam in third, plus 5.22 units. You three especially have really got off to a great start this month. Great job to you guys. Everybody else here, still lots of time, including myself at minus 1.11 units. Lots of time for the rest of the month. Looking to keep things going here today. And for me, for best bet, I kind of thought about a couple different things, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Give me the Blue Jays to win and give me Matt Chapman to get a hit, which is underpriced, minus 190 at some spots. And now you might be thinking, minus 190, that's a lot. Other players are minus 300, but the number one hitting player in the league is only minus 190. So that is not priced correctly. Crystal going with Varsho and Kiermaier over half a hit each. And Nick is going with the Flyers -1 in this one. Hintz and Heiskanen assisted. Okay, so Heiskanen got 2 assists then. They must have changed that. Because when I was looking, when I looked, he didn't. So, yes. Great job, Richie. Great job. But that is today's show. If you want to put your best bet in, feel free. Put it in the comment section. Not in the live chat right now, but in the comment section after the show is done. Best of luck to everybody. Let's all make some money on this slate. And we'll see you again tomorrow, normal time, for another episode, Getting Wild and Flying High, free NHL and MLB picks. Best of luck, guys.